Well, we made it back from the country. We got that porch built, and that was a good project. But once I got home, we decided to take the pontoon boat out of the water, clean it up a little bit, and turns out I've got barnacles on the side of it there. The area where I parked the boat, mostly fresh water, but every now and then the brackish water get in there. And I've had it in the water for probably 6 months. So I got barnacles on here. And I went ahead and took my pressure washer and cleaned on the other side. I will go ahead and say this is my first time dealing with barnacles. I'm not really a saltwater guy. So let me show you how that turned out with the pressure washer. You can see it cleaned the old green stuff off. You know, it got the old slimy stuff off, but it left the barnacles. So I got to get them off of there. Then I'm going to order some cleaner, which I've used before. I actually did a video on it, and clean them up good. I'm also going to have to figure out how am I going to jack this thing up so I can get the very underside of the pontoons. So I'm going to have to scrape them off. I scraped one little area up here at the front. Let's see if you can see that, which pretty well knocked them out. I just took a block of wood and they kind of knocked right off. So that's probably going to be the way they're going to come off, is with a block of wood. And then after that, we're going to have to get some chemicals and clean these up. So I'm going to get busy. Just take a board with a flat surface and they'll scrape right off. So that's what I've got to do now, is just scrape this whole thing with a board or some type of flat surface. I've watched some other videos and there's different ways to go about this, but this seems to be working, so I'm going to do this. So I'm going to scrape all of this off, and then I'm going to order some chemical cleaner to spray on it and shine them back up again. So no sense filming all of this. You get the gist of it. I got to take this board and just rub this thing down. So I'll film a little of that, but for the most part, I got a few hours ahead of me scraping. So hang with me. All right, we are back on the pontoon today, trying to get the rest of these barnacles off here. Got them off both sides except for where it sits on the rails of the trailer. I don't have the ability here, or the equipment, to take this off of the trailer. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. OSHA probably wouldn't like it, but what the heck. And I'm not a how-to, I'm just showing you how I do. So what I've done is I jacked the trailer up, well, over there, you know, I jacked it up kind of high off the ball of my truck. And I put some boards up under here, some 4x4s that I had laying around. I cut them, and then I let the trailer back down. And it's worked out pretty good because I've got it up. You can see right there, I've got a nice gap. And I'm able to clean all the way down to the tires back there, kind of in between those tires. So it got it up enough where I can get to it. You know, I'm being careful not to get my hand in between there just in case it was to plop back down. But if it did come down, it would just go right back into the tracks. So I've got to get the underside done. I'm gonna get up under here and do that. As you can see, it's, you know, there's plenty of room to work up under a pontoon boat. You know, the older I get, the harder it is to get around those braces under there, but still, there's plenty of room. So I'm gonna get up under there and try to get that done. I'm gonna let this back down, and then I'm gonna have about the last 5 feet or so. So I'm gonna have to pick the back up somehow. I'm got some ideas there, but anyway, I'm gonna get busy doing this up under here, and then we'll worry about the back. So let's get with it. Well, my plan for the back worked. Got a floor jack 4x4 right there on the transom that my motor's mounted on, and you can see I have jacked up the back relatively easy. So let's knock the rest of this out. We'll be ready for cleaner. Today is Saturday. I've ordered the Star-Brite aluminum cleaner. I've done a video on it before. It does good. It's my first time using it on this type stuff, but I've watched some other videos. It seems to work fine. It's not going to be here till Tuesday, so I'm going to finish knocking this last little bit of barnacles off of here, and then at that point we got to wait till Tuesday to finish this video. So let me get busy. Well, today's the day. We got our Star-Brite, I think's the name of it, cleaning solution for our pontoons. I got 2 bottles of it. Now I've done a video with this, I think it's called Star-Brite. Let me get it out. I did a video when we were redoing the pontoon boat, and I cleaned them originally, and I really like it. It did a good job. Star-Brite, there we go. Star-Brite aluminum cleaner and polisher, the restorer. It's good stuff. It works really good. My only thing is I don't know if it's going to get these barnacles off. So that's going to be the test today. So I guess we could say this video is kind of a Star-Brite aluminum cleaner part 2. Let me get you a close-up here and let me show you these barnacles. Show you here. If you can see, I got the barnacles off, but you can see little rings that left. You know, that's a slight little bit of barnacle still on there. Now the underside up under here was just covered. So you can see that's just solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack up this end so my cleaner will, you know, will trickle all the way down to the bottom of the pontoon. But I'm gonna concentrate on this area since it's so thick with barnacles. That'll give us a real good indicator of how this thing's gonna do. So I'll do this side. The outside didn't have that many on it. It had some, but not that many. The inside up under there was just covered. So that's going to be a good test. So I'm going to do about 2 to 3 foot on the outside. I'll do the back, and I'll do 2 or 3 foot on the inside, just as a starter test to see how this thing's going to go. So let me get this thing jacked up. I've already got the water hose out. I've got me some rubber gloves. I'm going to read through the instructions and the safety precautions and see what they recommend, and we'll go from there. So hang with me. All right, I've got my gloves on. I've read the instructions, and basically it says, you know, try not to get it on your skin, don't swallow it, try not to breathe in the fumes. On that note, it says just using a well ventilated area. We're outside, you know, and it recommended wearing gloves, so we're good. I got glasses on. They're not necessarily safety glasses, but still I've got glasses on, so we shouldn't get any speckle back into the eye to hurt my eyes. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and spray a couple of feet on this left pontoon, and I'm going to see how it does with these barnacles. I'm just not sure if I'm going to have to scrub on them or if it's going to chemically eat them off of there. I don't know. Whew, it is kind of powerful. I might have to get a respirator. Now we let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes and then rinse it off with a water hose. So I'll set a timer and we'll come back. It's been about 5 minutes, so let's do a little rinsing and see what happens. I don't know if these barnacles are going to come off, but we're about to find out. So I'm not sure if you can see, but from that area to here, it cleaned the aluminum pretty good. It looks good, but it did little to nothing to the barnacles. So I'm gonna have to get a brush and maybe I'm gonna scrub on them and see if maybe that helps. I was hoping the chemical would eat those barnacles off of there, what little bit remnants are left, but it didn't seem to do that. So I'm going to spray the barnacle areas again, probably mainly on the inside. I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to scrub it in good, and let's see what that does. I've switched sides mainly for the purpose of time. I don't want to wait for the other side to dry before I start on it. So I'm going to spray this side. You can see I got a good many barnacles here. I got me just a plastic scrub brush. I'm going to scrub this stuff in and see if that makes a difference of getting these barnacles off of here. So let's spray it down and see what happens. All right, let's scrub it in a bit. See if it does anything to these barnacles. Doesn't seem to be having an effect. the Star-Brite on a little thicker this time, and you can see I'm going from here to there, and I can see it's cleaning the aluminum quite well. I haven't rinsed it off yet. I'm still anxious to see what happens with the remnants of these barnacles. I'm going to spray this off with a water hose and see what happens, but I'm probably going to have to get the pressure washer out and start, once it's done its thing and I've waited the 3 to 5 minutes, take it off with a pressure washer and see if it does better with the barnacles. So let's just see what the water hose does. So you see it's cleaning the aluminum really well, and that's really what it's for. But I need to get these barnacles off of here. And I've already scraped them. You've seen earlier in the video, you know, they were tall. I scraped them off, but it always leaves this little remnant of the barnacle. And it's not eating that off. I was really hoping it would. So I guess the next thing I'm going to try is I'm going to pick another area, spray it down good, and instead of hitting it with a water hose, I'm going to hit it with my pressure washer and see if it knocks those barnacles on off of there. If it don't, then the only recourse I have is to try to scrape them off or something. But so far the Star-Brite is not taking these barnacles off of here. I hate to say barnacles. I've got the biggest of the barnacles off. I already scraped them off. But if you've dealt with it, it always leaves this small ring. This may be 1/16 of an inch thick, probably not even that much. I want to get all of that off of there. So let's try the pressure washer next. All right, let's fire it up and see what happens. Okay, so even with the pressure washer, it's not affecting the remnants of these barnacles. the pressure washer I'm using is 2600 psi. You know, I've seen some videos where you say if you have one that's 3500, 3600, you know, stronger than what I've got, it'll knock it off. But for the sake of this video and reference, this is a 2600 psi Honda pressure washer. So with the Star-Brite on it and using the pressure washer, it's basically having zero effect on these barnacles. Now, as far as the aluminum, Star-Brite's cleaning it just like it's advertised. I'm not talking bad about Star-Brite. Star-Brite is cleaning the aluminum, and that's what it's for. I was hoping, you know, just really hoping that it was going to have some effect on these barnacles that are left on here, but I don't think it does. So I got to come up with some other way to get these barnacles off. All right, as you can see, not sure what I'm going to have to do there, but I have got to get these barnacles completely off. I imagine up under that remnant of barnacle, the pontoon is dirty, so I don't want to continue cleaning with the Star-Brite until I get the barnacles completely off. And I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet. Might be a sander involved, I'm not sure. I have watched some videos and it made it appear that the Star-Brite would dissolve these off, but it didn't work for me. There again, I'm not knocking Star-Brite. Their job is to clean the aluminum, and it's doing a fantastic job on that. But for me, it did not get these barnacles off. So for now, I'm going to end this video until I figure out how I'm going to get these off, and I'll pick up there on the next video. But we're gonna get these barnacles off before I continue using chemical to clean the pontoons. So appreciate you watching, and hey, good, bad, and ugly. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. You know, if you're used to videos where everything works out perfect, sorry. This one didn't. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. But I know where I'm at. I'm going to end this video now. Once I figure out how I'm going to get these barnacles off, I'll pick back up on the next video. So till next time, it's Larry with ForeverHuff'sLiving saying see you down the road.